All right, so welcome to our first official video for Ottawa Bike and Trail e-bike Outpost. Our e-bike Outpost is our e-bike specific shop, and as you can see here in our main shop, we have a lot of bikes and we're pretty full. So we created a separate shop just down the street, separate space where we could house all of our e-bikes. So we have our e-bike rentals and our e-bike demo bikes down there. We have a little shop down there. So I'm gonna take you down there and just show you around. We're gonna walk down the street. All right, so one of the things I love about being in Ottawa is that we have a really historic downtown. In fact, our main shop is the oldest remaining commercial building in Ottawa. It was built in 1869, so it's been here a long time. And we've got a lot of other historic buildings throughout Ottawa that are really making an interesting downtown. So we're really lucky to be here. We're also situated at the intersection of the Flint Hills Trail and the Prairie Spirit Trail. So right out our back door, we can access about 160 miles of rail trail. So that makes it a great place to come ride. It also, for us, makes it a great place for customers that want to try out a bike or an e-bike. They can jump right on the trail and get a pretty good feel for what that bike's going to feel like on a rail trail. All right, so as you can see, we're about a half block from the other shop, which I wish it was closer, but this is such a great space that we really couldn't pass up on it. It's a small space, but just right for us. And as you can see here, we do not yet have our sign put up. It used to be an art gallery, so they still have the art gallery sign up, but we were able to put some stickers up on the front window to let people know we're here. We don't keep this shop staffed all the time, so we have a little QR code, so when you come up you can hit the QR code and it tells you how to make an appointment with us, or if you want to just walk down to the other shop and let us know you're interested in e-bikes, then we'll walk down and show you what we got. Hey, maybe eventually we'll be busy enough that we can justify keeping this shop open all the time, but we're still trying to grow it. All right, so first thing I want to show you is our rental bike fleet. So we have a bunch of rental bikes in different sizes so that customers that want to come out, let's say they've never ridden an e-bike before, they can rent an e-bike. We have a 2-hour minimum, but they can rent it up to a full day, and we've even had customers that want to rent for multiple days, and we allow that. But it's a great way for a customer to get on an e-bike, try it out, see if they like it. And part of our rental program is that if you end up buying an e-bike after renting one, then we rebate the rental price back to you up to $75. So it's a really good way to try it out if you're new to the e-bike scene and you want to just see if it's right for you. It's a great way to do it. Our rental fleet is made up right now of Giant Roams. It's just a hybrid bike, works great on the rail trail, very easy to ride, very simple to use. So they make a really good rental bike for us. So we've had this set of bikes for a little over 2 years, and we'll start swapping them out over time, but they all still are in really good condition. We maintain them very well, obviously. So it's been a really good way for us to get people into e-bikes and introduce them. In our shop today, we have a bunch of different brands, and we've spent a lot of time very carefully trying to select brands that we want to carry in our shop. And a couple of things that we look at, first is just we want to make sure that the bikes brand offers is going to be right for our customers. And most of our customers ride our rail trails. They also want to be able to ride on road, and on occasion they want to take a bike on a gravel road. We do have some mountain bike customers as well, but it's not quite as prominent in our area. So it's mostly trail and road and commuter type bikes. The brands that we select, though, one of the things that we really look for is a support program for the brand. So we want to make sure when we sell a customer a bike that we're going to be able to support that customer 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road. So we wanted to make sure that we could get spare parts, that we had good customer support from the brand, and that when we call them up, we need something that they can address it quickly. That's not always the case, and over time we'll start to kind of hone in on the brands that we want to carry, but we're pretty happy with the lineup that we have right now. Of course, we're always trying out new things and bringing in new bikes and trying out different things, so it'll definitely evolve over time. It's part of the reason I wanted to make this introductory video to talk about, where we started, where we are now, and then look at a year from now, 2 years from now, how our business has changed. So that's kind of the approach. But the brands that we have right now, one of our best sellers is the Aventon lineup, and we brought them in about 2 years ago, and we've been very, very happy with their lineup of bikes. They just came out with a whole new lineup with some new technology, some new features, and we were really excited with their approach. So we'll keep Aventon as one of our primary brands and continue to kind of evolve with them. We will do some videos on specific Aventon models that we really like and that are popular with our customers. So on this channel, we'll talk more about Aventon. One of the smaller brands that we brought in is AMA, and they don't have a wide lineup of bikes, but we really honed in on this Santa Monica and another model that they have called the Big Sur. And we have a lot of customers that love this bike, and it's a really low step through. It's got really good parts on it. It's completely Bafang drivetrain, which just means that we can find spare parts for this bike, and we can also connect this bike to a computer and diagnose it. So we really like the drivetrain that's on it. But the real big selling feature for this bike is the ride quality. So we have customers come and compare similar bikes, and usually when they get on this bike, they love the ride quality. So it's been a really good seller for us. Not a wide lineup though. They only have 1 or 2 models that we really like that they offer. So we'll continue to see how they evolve, but we've been really happy with their bikes. They also only sell through bike shops, and they have a really, really good support program. So that's part of the reason we keep AMA in our lineup. We also sell Rad Power. I would say we don't have quite as many Rad Power bikes, but they do have some specific models that our customers like and that aren't really offered in some of the other brands we carry. So the Radster Trail is one of the bikes that we've been very successful with. We have a lot of customers that ride that bike. It's kind of in between a mountain bike and a fat bike. It has a 3-inch tire. So we'll get more into specifics of some of the bikes in future videos, but that's where we are with Rad Power. The other lineup that we have are the entire Giant lineup. So we sell Giant and their women's specific brand called Live, and also Momentum, which is their more recreational style bikes. And we've been really happy with their entire lineup. We sell some of their mountain bikes as well. They're unique from some of the other brands that we offer in that they're focused on the mid-drive motors mostly. They use a Yamaha power system, which we're really happy with. So they're kind of our go-to brand for people that are looking for a little bit more of a performance bike. But those are our main brands right now. We do have one other brand that we'll be announcing in a couple of weeks that we are working on that we're really excited about. So we'll do a video on that when we announce that. But again, we just keep evolving, and as we get more experience with different brands, we may make changes. One of the most common questions we get when people are just getting introduced to e-bikes is, what is the battery life and how far can I ride the bike? And I would say most of the bikes that we carry are in the 50 to 60 mile range. Everybody measures their range differently, and there's a lot of testing that you can look at that'll show you exactly what it is, but for most people, 50 to 60 miles. And so the battery needs to be recharged at some point. If you want to go further than that, some bikes offer an extender pack. We do have customers that sometimes will buy 2 batteries if they want to do really long rides. So it really kind of depends on how you're going to use the bike and how much power you're using. to determine what the range is. All of the bikes have some sort of setting to allow you to adjust the power level. So if you're doing most of the work, you're going to get a longer range. If the battery and the motor is doing most of the work, then you're going to get a shorter range. So when we talk about and review bikes in the future, that's one of the things we'll look into and talk about is what's the range of the bike. I will say a lot of the bike brands continue to upgrade their motors and their power systems and get more range, and that we've seen that with Aventon and their recent models. They're claiming they're getting 10 more miles of range out of their bikes, so that's something that will continue to improve over time. But one of the things I really like about this space is we have this little shop area, and it's actually the perfect size for a single person shop. So we've outfitted it with a power lift, which is, I'd say, a must if you're going to work on e-bikes. Trying to lift these and use your back to lift them up on a standard rack is no fun at all. So yeah, definitely a must-have for an e-bike shop. We have one at the other shop as well, so we are able to do some work down there as well, but this shop is where we do a majority of our assembly and repairs for e-bikes. All right, so we do offer repair services in our e-bike shop, and one of the questions we always get is, will you work on any brand? And right now we do, and we'll see over time how that changes. But really what we tell people is we'll do our best, because with a lot of these brands, especially the smaller brands and brands that are online only, the support for those brands is all over the map. So in fact, recently we had a customer bring in a bike and it needed a new controller and a new wiring harness and a few other things. And when we went to the brand to try to order those parts, we were able to get the wiring harness, but we were not able to get the controller. And they couldn't tell us when the new controllers would be in stock. So for the customer, that means an indefinite wait and just not a great customer experience. So we try to be very clear with customers up front. If it's not a brand that we can support, we'll do our best. We'll try not to spend too much time. But in some cases, we just have to turn the bike away and say, we can't, there's really nothing we can do here. And that's really why it's so important to us to make sure that the brands that we carry, that we have spare parts, that we can get spare parts, not just now, but in the future. So that's just one of those things. I think over time, as some of these brands close down, there's going to be some consolidation, that it's going to be really important that we stick with brands that are going to be around for the long haul. And that's part of the challenge, and part of what the opportunity is for us is to be a shop that can support those bikes. If you buy a bike from us, we're going to be able to support it for as long as possible. Thank you for joining us for this tour of the e-bike shop. I hope you enjoyed. We have a lot of great ideas about things we can talk about in the future. We want to talk about different price points and different price ranges for e-bikes. We want to talk about rear drive versus mid drive and some of the different motor options that are out there. We want to talk about specific brands that we carry in a little more detail. We're going to go through all of that on this channel, so be sure and like and subscribe. But thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.